My name is Ed, and I was diagnosed with Fabry's disease in 2001. I learned that the life expectancy for a male Fabry patient is 50. And I was 43 at the time, so I don't know if this is real or not. Fabry's disease is a very rare, life-threatening genetic storage disorder. We're missing a key enzyme. It affects all the fine blood vessels in your organs.
I got the call from his kidney specialist that the biopsy showed up that he had Fabry's disease. Never heard of it. And that really started us all on a journey. I told my mother-in-law, and she contacted her sister in the Netherlands, and her sister knew of a cousin who'd had the disease. So that started the whole, okay, this is hereditary, who's had it, that sort of thing.
Everybody in our family got tested, and I have two brothers, and they got tested, and one of them has Fabry and one of them doesn't.
When Ed was diagnosed, I thought, this doesn't sound abnormal, this sounds like me, exactly. I mentioned the illness to my doctor, and his response was, I think I remember reading about that in my textbooks when I was studying, but he'd never had a patient.
It's a very, very rare disease. I think there's only 500 patients in all of Canada today that have Fabry's disease, so you can't expect people to know about it. Knowing about Fabry's disease sort of answered a lot of questions that I had because some of the first symptoms occurred when I was like 4 or 5 years old. When it was warm out and we used to play and run, and the feeling I would get in my hands and feet were like they were on fire.
Ed had a real love and passion for playing sports and enjoying life that way, but his stamina and ability to partake was always limited because he just had trouble perspiring, no real stamina or strength to do some of the things that I could kind of do naturally.
My brother stepped up and donated one of his kidneys to me, and that's life-changing. It was just awesome.
I think the decision really to become a donor was really, bottom line, to make a difference in Ed's life. And I think I was kind of jogging maybe 3-4 weeks later. So it really, really went well. I've been able to maintain the lifestyle that I always dreamed I would be able to have.
When I got out of that hospital after my transplant, I felt I was resurrected. Man, I never felt so good in my entire life. Past 18 to 20 years have been a real roller coaster. From a physical standpoint, you never know what's coming. But from an emotional, psychological perspective, it's taught me a lot. And my purpose in life is to bring hope and encouragement for other people.
These days we spend our winters down in Arizona. When we come now, and I think 2 years ago was when I really saw the benefit in Ed's health by coming down here. And this year when we came in October, he hadn't been very well before we came. Give him 10 days down here and he's looking fine again. My advice for somebody who is a caregiver, a spouse of someone with a life-threatening illness, don't be afraid to ask others who might be doing something similar to say, how do you cope with this, or how are you coping with that? And that's been helpful as well.
One of the things we're all trying to do is find Fabry patients, because at the end of the day, we want Fabry patients to be diagnosed. We don't want them to have to spend 43 years in the dark. We want them to be diagnosed, and we want them to be treated accordingly. The sooner you start treatment, the better off you're going to be with Fabry's disease. There are some fantastic experts out there who make it their mission and lives to help people like me. You can overcome any challenge, including living with Fabry's disease.